folding this way, this is my edge of that plate. Well, if I do the edge of the plate, I can measure from the plate to the side of the plate, come back here, measure back, and know exactly where the roll goes. It's about putting the material on one time with maybe a half a, 2-3 millimeter misadjustment at the most. It keeps your scrap down, and it makes it easier to set up. So the next thing I want to do, okay, I know my roll. I know it's in the wrong spot on this shaft. I already know it is, and I'm going to fix it. Did you hit reset?
I did.
Guys, it's fine. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, no, I don't care about that. We're not even close to putting the air back in there again. I'm all about equal, all right? You start centered on everything, okay? Then you have 2 inches of adjustment on everything. So let's say I do a bag that's the next size. I have the room to move it. I mean, a 2-inch adjustment on the lip or on the gusset is a big adjustment. A huge variety of bags you can do just by turning hand wheels going on to the next job. Okay, and that's what you want to do. You want to say, I'm going to set this up so when I go to that job, I just move the roll and I'll just keep on going. The zipper stays in the same spot, or I can move in and out of the zipper without touching the zipper. So what I'm essentially trying to do is to get this web as close to center of this machine so everything tracks into there properly. That's the best way to do this. So if I look at the EPC, because this is the roll, I just release this, I can do whatever I want with it. Take a look at the EPC. The EPC is the electronic position control. Okay? Electronic position control is your edge guide. Have you been using it?
Yeah. La veo.
On that side?
¿Que si lo usamos?
Sí.
Sí, no, lo usamos de este lado, pero es que yo lo estuvo tratando y él lo puso de este lado.
Yeah, he knows.
Okay, we're going to teach you how to use it. So, if you look at the edge guide has 2 inches of movement either way. So let's say the edge guide was at 3 inches and 1. Doesn't give you much movement, does it? And it will stop the machine if the edge guide goes out of position. So it makes sense. Like, do you run these slitters?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you run the slitter, do you leave the edge guide all the way to one side?
No.
And then start the machine? Take a look here. You can see it right here in the shaft. I have a smaller adjustment than I have there. Correct? It's very obvious. We put these things...
Where? Show me.
This is smaller than that. It's not centered. How do you fix that? Come on over here. What unwind is this? Do you know what unwind this is? All right, before I go any further, I'm going to tell you every component on the machine. Okay? We'll start at the front instead of the back. This is a machine cutter. That's why it says MC. Okay? Servo 1 is the draw roller. It's the first draw roller in the machine.
Yeah.
Okay? MA is a servo drive. Whenever you see an M, it has to do with something with a servo. Okay? MA is a servo drive. It's our main drive that moves all the heads. That's what that means. Servo 2, that means it's your second draw. How many servo draws do I have on the machine? That's just a quick question.
3.
Very good. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. Is that a servo?
Yep.
This is not a servo.
Not a servo?
No. This is a frequency drive. That's why it's called A. It has a dancer, and it's a frequency drive. This is a constant motion unit, where those are servo. They're a position drive. They actually go start, stop, start, stop. These consistently move all the time, all right, based on the position of the dancer. FB is right here. This is the dancer accumulator for which servo? What's the number? Servo 1, 2, that's right, servo 3. So this servo feeds into this dancer to allow us to accumulate material to create a constant motion through folding. If you're not constant motion through folding, you'll rip out, you'll tear it, you won't be smooth. FC is our C dancer. It controls our C unwind. Okay? Now we also have a D unwind, which is not hooked up, and it's over there. That's an FD. And then we have an FR. Why is it called FR? FR is our insert gusset. Okay? So if you walk over here to the front of the machine, that's the right-hand side, that's the left-hand side. That's why it's called R. Okay? Very, very common sense approach. Okay? So we have R. So now you know all the drives. You know all the servos. Okay? Now, this is FC unwind. I need the EPC that controls FC. EPC with FC. So look for CEPC. Ah, perfect. Take a look at the arrows. See the arrow buttons? So you have auto and you have manual. Okay? And you see it started to move because there's nothing on, right? So we're in manual mode. We want to get this back to center. Take a look at the arrow button, right? Just take a look at it. See the arrow is pointing. If you were, as I'm an operator, I'm standing here. See that arrow? It's pointing at me. What does that mean? If I push that, that drive's going to come towards me. Real common sense. I don't make it backwards. I actually reverse the program to make it so when I push this, this comes to me. Push this, it goes away from you. So now you don't even have to look at the unwind. I know that if I want to move 1/8 of an inch, it just moved 1/8 of an inch. Okay? I don't have to look at the roll because I know these buttons give me that direction.
3 millimeters is 1/8 of an inch?
About.
Okay.
So now, if you look, now we're pretty close to center, aren't we? The spacing here and here is pretty close. That is a good starting point. Okay, from here, this hand wheel down here at the bottom, this is an important device because you have a short side of the machine and a long side of the machine. Okay? What you want to do is to take this now, since we're using the long side of the machine, we want to move this proportionate to the size of the roll. Now, what do I mean by that? This unwind can handle a 1.4 meter, 59-inch roll. Well, I don't have a 59-inch roll. If I had a 59-inch roll on here and I was folding into a bag, I would have to take the unwind and move it all the way to the end. But since I have a 900, I have to move it, but not all the way to the end. And if I'm going to set up this job, or the Kirkland up there, you know, they're all pretty close to the same size, I'm going to find a good happy medium where I want to set my unwind for this. Because I'm not running center seal, I'm not running a centered pouch, I'm running an off center. So go ahead, take that and move the unwind about 4 inches this way.
I move 4 inches?
Yes.
Tengo que si tuvieras un modelo de 59 y una cosa de Pegaso, tuvieras tu modelo todo hasta allá.